the metamorphic rocks. See, if you know the blueprint, you will never forget. I'm saying, you will never forget the content. I can say. Done? Clear? The most important one. Again, the first and foremost blueprint, it is nothing but about, or I can say the definition about the metamorphic rock. Now, what do you mean by metamorphic rock? Metamorphic andre what do you mean by a metamorphic rock? What is meta? Again, it's a Latin term which means a change in form. It is derived from a Latin term which means a change in form. Nothing but the change in the form. Sir, when does the rocks change its form? When? Exactly. That is, we call it as the PVT. That is via the process called as the pressure, via the process called as the imposition of more velocity, and the third one we call it as the temperature. Exactly, we call it as the pressure, the velocity or the volume, I can say. The third one we call it as the temperature. Done? Clear? One. The second major one is the process. The second one is the process of metamorphic rocks. Now, what is the different process of converting it into a different rock system? If the normal rock, normal rock, it can be both. It can be both igneous rock. As well as a sedimentary rock. If this sedimentary rock comes in contact with extreme pressure, extreme volume or velocity, extreme temperature, which changes its form, this igneous rock and our sedimentary rock converts its form. What form now? It converts its physical form, or I can say it converts its chemical composition as well. Yes or no? It converts, or I can say which converts it into the different, physical and the chemical composition. And this process we call it as a recrystallization and a reorganization. And this conversion we call it as a recrystallization and a reorganization. Of our physical properties and our the chemical composition. Okay now? Then highly important one. You can know yavyadu sir convert agate anta. See this, our normal igneous, or I can say igneous or sedimentary rock is converted into a metamorphic rock. Examples nodili. Now granite is converted into already a UPSC favorite ido. UPSC or exam favorite ido. This chart. That is nothing but the clay has been converted into, or I can say the granite has been converted into a niche. In the similar model, in the similar way, the clay or a shell. Not granite, it's our igneous rock. Igneous or rock has been converted it into a niche. Via a pressure. When there is a pressure is being imposed on this granite, it automatically converts it into it automatically converts it into what process? Converts it into the gneiss. Converts it into gneiss. First one, igneous rock. Second one, clay and shale. Clay and shale is a sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock, when we impose a pressure impose ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Obviously, it gets converted it into the schist. It gets converted it into the schist. Second major important one. The third one is our sandstone. क्या तो rock इधो? Sandstone. Is it igneous or metamorphic or sedimentary? It is sedimentary again. It is sedimentary rock which is converting it into a quartzite. Which is converted it into quartzite via a temperature. Via a temperature, it is converting it into, we call it as a quartzite. We call it as a quartzite. We call it as a quartzite. But the same process, clay ಮತ್ತು shale ಮೇಲೆ pressure ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ obviously it will convert it into schist. Whereas clay ಮತ್ತು shale ಗೆ temperature ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ it will convert it into a slate. It will convert it into slate, or I can say the phyllite. You can say a slate or phyllite. The pressure agdaga it is just, whereas temperature agdaga it is a slate or a phyllite has been formed. The phyllite is nothing but a metamorphic rock has been formed. Metamorphic rock has been formed. Next one coal hakadre. If coal has been again notice shale and coal also. Coal, limestone, all comes under a sedimentary rock. Sedimentary, a rock, a coal. If it is heat hakidre, more heat, that is creation of the pure quality coal. We call it as anthracite coal. We call it as anthracite coal, nothing but the wonderful or the pure quality coal. Pure quality coal, or I can say a graphite has been formed. Graphite has been formed. Highly important one. If coal has been imposed with a temperature imposed madidre, either a formation of anthracite or I can say a graphite. But the same example, if coal has been imposed with heat and pressure, diamond. Only heat hakidre, it is graphite. If it is temperature and pressure and the pressure, formation of the diamond, formation of a diamond. Followed by the last one, limestone. When it has been imposed with heat, we call it as a formation of a marble. Formation of a marble. Highly important one. This chart is highly important. One. I'll summarize. The first and foremost one, granite via the pressure converts it into gneiss. Second one we call it as the clay, or I can say a shale. Pressure agda enagutte? Schist. Followed by a sandstone, temperature, a quartzite. Whereas same clay and shale, heat agdaga it is a slate or the phyllite has been formed. Again, the coal if it is heat, anthracite or graphite. Whereas a coal game, if it is heat and pressure hakidre, diamond will be formed. Highly important. Clear? Next one, back to the third major important blueprint. The blueprint. What is the third one? The third one is the types of a metamorphic rocks. The types of a metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks is of two types. Again, it is of two types. One is foliated metamorphic rocks. It is of two types. It is a foliated. It is foliated metamorphic rock, and the second one we call it as a non-foliated metamorphic rock. Non-foliated metamorphic rock. Foliated and non-foliated metamorphic rocks. Okay, now metamorphic rocks. The most important one, sir, foliated andre enu? Foliated one is nothing but presence of layers. Foliated is nothing but presence of a layers, or I can say presence of a strata on the similar lines of sedimentary. Foliated andre presence of the strata, or I can say a presence of a layers. Presence of the layers. Presence of layers. Brasili, it does not have a layers. It does not have a layers. Sir, examples for foliated antandre, examples for foliated includes the niche, the schist. Examples includes ikta nodadala, the niche, the schist. Examples includes the niche. Examples include the slate. Examples include the phyllite. Examples includes are the niche as well with respect to foliated. Non-foliated here, other examples includes the marble. Examples includes marble. Examples includes limestone. Examples includes quartzite. Examples includes a quartzite. Examples includes a quartzite. Okay, now done. This is about the third major important blueprint. Fourth one is our salient features. Fourth one is our salient features of a metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks. Now, what are the salient features? Mix of both. Mix of both. Obviously, igneous is converted into metamorphic as well as sedimentary is converted into metamorphic. It consists of both the features, alba. It consists of both the features. What is the first and foremost feature? With respect to fossils, it may or may not contain fossils. It may, or I can say, it may or may not. It may or may not contain. It may or may not contain the fossils. It may or may not contain the fossils. First and the foremost one. What about second salient feature? Exactly, layers. Again, layers ashalva. May or may not contain the layers. May or may not contain the layers. May or may not contain the layers. Exactly, Bhageshri. Happy you guys are following? Second one, it is our may or may not. What about third one? The structure which has undergone the recrystallization and remodification due to the natural factors, nothing but which has been imposed by a PVT. That is a pressure, volume and temperature has been imposed on this rocks. Obviously, the rock might be or may be hard or soft in nature. Maybe hard or soft in a nature. Hard or soft in nature. If it has converted from igneous in the it is harder. If it is sedimentary, it is soft. Again, if it is hard, obviously percolation will come down. Soft, obviously the percolation of the water will increase. Water will increase. In the same way, the reaction will also be same. If it is harder, lesser chemical reaction. If it is softer, more chemical reaction. Understand and keep writing.